Oh my goodness. You guys would not believe how stupid I feel right now. I just went and recorded. Let's count. 1, 2, about, I think 3, yeah, about 4 episodes I just recorded and completely did not record audio. Oh, rip my hair out. Oh my gosh. I can't even. There was so much good lore and so much good information. I was talking up a storm and going over all the information, all the different lore of these tribes and these legion and this character and that character and the claw of Kanur and the books and and it's all just evaporated because I completely lapsed and did not record the audio at the start. So yeah, that sometimes I just I can't even believe myself. It was like 3 hours of recording, and I was really proud of the results. Was trying to went to go edit them, and there's no audio on any of it. So we will. I don't even know what to do here. I guess what I can do is try and work over it and just explain what I was going to explain, what I did explain for 3 hours, or however long I was recording. But in post editing, which is not nearly as interesting as live because you don't get the reactions, and there was some funny little bits, and all of it's just gone. So I really do apologize, guys. I'm so sorry. I should have checked, and from now on, you make one mistake, but you don't make it twice. So, well, on the plus side, I got a pop filter, so I no more annoying pops and b and p. No longer make those really annoying pops. But gosh, and the sound quality is hopefully better because I'm repositioning my computer and all that yada yada. Anyway, I'll let you listen to this cinematic. At least I got the game volume.
Well, look who finally came back. When Steelbane gets done with you, you'll wish you died with the rest of your warband.
As if I cared what you think. Who are you? And why are you breathing at me?
Sarosi Breaksteel. Steelbane recruited me, along with the others, to rebuild the warband.
Wait, what? He's recruiting without asking us?
Yeah, because you're dead, remember? And probably better off that way. Report to Steelbane in the barracks, quick, or you'll be in for a beating.
Alright, well, at least I now have the experience of going through it, so I can maybe hopefully talk about it with a little more fluidity. So we just talked to a lady, or a char, female char, who has been hired or brought into the warband that we were a part of, that almost everyone has died from it, due to a lapse in judgment by the man you're about to meet, the legionnaire of our warband. So I'll let you guys listen in.
Legionnaire! Looks like some sewage just floated in from the battlefield. You get my best soldiers killed, and then have the nerve to stand there stinking up our barracks with your cowardly musk?
I got them killed? Tell me something, boss. Who's in charge of this outfit? Who is giving the orders? You.
Watch your tongue, soldier, or I'll have it removed for insubordination. Rage, teach this piece of waste how to address a legionnaire. With pleasure.
Alright, so here in typical char fashion, we are ambushed by our warband. They want none of me. I have failed and disgraced the warband because I was led to believe in their leadership, or in the leadership of the Legionnaire, who is flawed himself, but he's at this point no longer really wanting to admit that it was his fault in the first place. So he's sort of standing his ground, even though he's not in the right. So we have to dispatch all these guys, and man, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm just so... There was just a lot of really good stuff that is just gone forever now, and we're gonna miss out on because I was unable to record it correctly. Man, such really is annoying. Hopefully the sound quality is a little bit better though, because I'm doing this post-production, but oh man, I can't even believe it. Cannot even believe it. So anyway, we're fighting the woman or the Char female that we had just talked to. So here we're gonna get into another cinematic.
Stand down! All of you! Stand down now! So, you fight your own warband better than you fight the enemy. Go on, get out of my sight while I figure out what to do with you. There's a load of supplies over at Telerange. Bring them to me. Double time. It's the only job you're fit for. Screw this up, and I will use your hide as a doormat. Understood?
Understood, boss.
Okay, so we are now sent on a mission to go capture supply. That is, we're essentially sent on like menial grunt work, in order to sort of regain our any shred of our respect amongst the warband, back after being such a disgrace earlier. Another thing, I guess I'll just talk about the Flame Legion, because I actually get a better chance to do it. I have a longer segment here just to talk about it, since there's nothing else being talked about. Alright, so the Flame Legion. Last video, we talked about a little tiny bit about the Flame Legion. We talked about they were one of the 4 legions of the Char. Now, what really happened, I didn't really explain too well, because I didn't want to drop any spoilers, etc. But I think it might be just better if I explain that way. The story might run a little bit smoother if I do explain. So, the Blood Legion, the Ash Legion, and the Iron Legion are all 3 legions of the Char. The Char legions all work together for the most part. You know, they have rivalries amongst each other, but it's mostly a collaborative effort. Even the Flame Legion, this is all back in pre-searing. So the searing was a large event. It's a very big time reference point for a lot of things. A lot of things changed right after the searing in Guild Wars. And so a lot of things changed in the Char, in the humans, in pretty much every race. It was a very, very big thing. If you guys don't know what the searing was, it was... So here, let me back up even farther. So what it is the searing was originally... Okay, let me back up a bit. So originally Ascalon was Charland. This is way, way back. Originally it was Charland. However, the humans moved into Ascalon, sort of pushed the native Char out, exiled them, and claimed the land as their own. Char, clearly, would not like this very much at all. So, the Char, rightfully so, have always had sort of a grudge and a vendetta against humans. That's why a lot of the banter between people in Divinity's Edge, the Ritlock Brimstone and Logan Thackeray, they are a very fierce rivalry because the humans and Char do not get along well at all. So, after it was taken over, after the humans took over the Char lands, the Char had it out for them, and like I said, rightfully so. After they, the Flame Legion of the Char had a new method. Previously, the Char had always been focused around fighting, and that sort of thing. And however, the Flame Legion had a new idea as to how things should be run, and they got a large following out of this. They had the idea of much more of a religious-oriented society with gods, which had never really happened. Sorry, there's a little cutscene here, so I'll let you guys listen, and then we'll resume.
The rest of your warband defected voluntarily. Don't be stubborn. Why fight for blood when you can cook for Flame Legion? Females have it easy with us.
You want me to desert and join you so you can demote me to fry cook? Please! I've killed 100 males twice your size.
Fall in line or fall on a blade. I don't care which. No luck trolling for recruits at the pig farm? You Flame Legion stiffs must be desperate. I came here for supplies, but this is a lot more fun. If it's fun you want, recruits! Let's send Blood Legion a message. Bury these idiots and destroy those supplies while you're at it.
So, just really quick before we get back to the Flame Legion lore, the Flame Legion are now have had it fed up with us. We were trying to reclaim our supplies. They are trying to recruit people to the Flame Legion from, you know, stragglers of Char who have no real war band or whatever. All right, so back to the Flame Legion lore and bigger picture lore. So the Flame Legion come in and they introduce dominance. They are a dominant force. Everyone sort of gets behind this new idea, and you know, everyone sort of goes along with them because it works. The Flame Legion are unconventional. They're brutal. They work with the gods, but it works. It's incredibly effective. And behind Flame Legion command, the Char forces unite and try and retake the lands of Ascalon back from the humans and give them back into the Char command. So they launch a giant assault known as the Searing. Searing, Flame Legion, sort of a little homage there. So they work together, all the Char work together towards the Searing. So, what happens during the Searing? Well, the Char largely win. They are on the verge of winning the whole of Ascalon. They are right on the doorstep of the king. The current king is King Adalburn. They're incredibly close to winning this giant fight for all of Ascalon, and they're right there. However, King Adalburn, in his deranged state, picks up his sword, a powerful magical sword, thrusts it into the ground, and releases. He doesn't know this, but it releases a explosion of magic that pours over the entire area of Ascalon, devastating everything that lives, completely killing all life. Char, human alike, everything is decimated. Now, what happens next? Well, okay, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this gripping, but there's some cutscenes I
My
don't want you
whole
guys to miss.
warband deserted for the promise of power. Never thought I'd see something like that. I have nothing left but my life. If you'll have me in your ranks, it's yours.
We need soldiers, and you can clearly handle yourself in a scrap. Welcome to the warband. Just be warned, my legionnaire is going to drown us for losing those supplies. I hope you can swim.
Don't worry. I can hold my breath for a long time. I'll take punishment over death, or being a gladium. Lead on.
Finished our quest. I don't know if I'll continue speaking. We might just make this a really long episode, and add on, because hey, there's no audio to tell you when it starts and stops. Alright, so what happens next? This magical burst of flame, this faux fire, is released from the sword, devastating all of Ascalon, and now what? Well, magic is very unpredictable in the world of Tyria, and it had an unforeseen side effect. Along with killing all the humans, right, all the Char, there's this unforeseen side effect of magic that we really don't understand magic fully in the world of Tyria, and it often has these very weird and curious side effects. And one of them is, right, along with killing everyone, it binds the souls of all the humans to become ghosts for eternity, hell-bent on defending the land of Ascalon from anything. Anything at all. These ghosts are now bound to destroy, to kill it, to make sure that it never threatens Ascalon. This is incredibly important to all the Char lore, all the lore in Ascalonian catacombs. All of it ties to this one central thing. All the Ascalonian ghosts you see running around, they're all, the reason they're evil, the reason they're trying to attack you, is because they see everything as a threat to Ascalon, except for other ghosts. Another curious effect, all the ghosts that we meet throughout the story, all the ghosts in all of Ascalon, they are all living in their mind as if they are still alive. They don't know they're ghosts. They don't know anything that's happened. They don't remember the faux fire. They don't realize any of this has ever happened, so they're continuing on as if they were still alive. So when you talk to them, they're like, well, of course, I've got to defend my land. My family's, at home. I need to feed the, kids or whatever. And they'll say some really, really curious off-color stuff. And if you don't know that they all think that this says, is completely, this is my normal life, and I'm a ghost, if you don't understand that, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense. But there's some pretty hilarious commentary between some of the ghosts. They'll say like, "Oh, my daughter's having nightmares about Char invasions," and etc., etc. And you're like, "Wait a minute, they're ghosts. How would you be plagued by these nightmares? You're a ghost, But of course, they think and they feel as if nothing has ever happened. Very, very interesting. Extremely interesting, in my opinion, at least. If you're interested in more of this, read Ascalonian Catacombs, the book. It's extraordinarily interesting. It's a Guild Wars 2 lore book. It's pretty cheap. It was like $8 for me at my local bookstore. Go read it. It's a pretty good read. Alright, now back to, this all stems from Flame Legion, and see, this is going to be a very long video. I'll be interested to know if anyone actually watches this far, because I can understand not really wanting to. Anyway, so back to Flame Legion. So after this searing, after this incredibly successful invasion, right up until magic was released, once you add magic to something, it sort of throws everything off base. So up until this point, everyone is rallied behind the Flame Legion. Now, back in some of those cutscenes that we were watching earlier, the Flame Legion are a very weird sort of society. They are very oppressive towards women. They're very violent, even as Char come. They're ruthless, and they have very unconventional ways as far as the Char are concerned. Anyway, eventually, as you were hearing in that clip, our new warband member, she was saying how she'd rather die than become a cook or a slave to the Flame Legion, and etc., etc. And this is all tying back to the fact that Flame Legion were very oppressive to women. And you're like, why are you even talking about this? Anyway, the ultimate demise of the Flame Legion is their oppression of the female Char. The female Char finally get fed up with it, finally get tired of being oppressed. tired of being kicked aside and not given any serious roles in society. They get fed up with it, and they revolt, and ultimately change the course of history, and they change the course of what everyone thinks, the proper way is to act and such, So they're able to, through this revolution, it's one woman in particular, I won't really get into what exactly she does, but essentially she wins duels against these males who don't respect her, etc. And anyway, eventually the Flame Legion become outcasts among the Char, and their ways are seen once more as sort of off-color and weird and not really to be trusted. But since the Flame Legion are so extreme and so hell-bent on keeping the ways of their legion the dominant force, since they want to keep being the dominant force, they decide to now become, to force people into obeying. Fine, if you're not gonna, we'll talk to you, we'll try and convert you and help you become part of the Flame Legion diplomatically, but they are not above just fighting you to the brink of your life and forcing you to go into the Flame Legion if you refuse by diplomatic means to come along with them quietly and join their ranks. So that's why we are fighting Flame Legion, is because they want everything to go back to the way it was with their gods, with their magic, and at this point most of the Char just are not having any of it, and really would prefer to stay with the way things are currently. Okay, that's a lot of stuff that I covered in this video. Hopefully you guys watch it and enjoy it. Let me know if anything I can help anywhere or clarify some things if they were unclear. I'm going to cut the video short here because it's already 20 minutes long. It's the longest video. But I just got onto a tangent, so I apologize for that. But hopefully it was interesting, and I got a good chance, despite the fact that the audio was, non-existent. Hopefully I got a chance to be able to provide insight that otherwise wouldn't be there. Alright, so we'll see you guys in the next video. Take